Hello, beautiful souls. I want to share about the concept of second arrow suffering today, which comes from a Buddhist parable about dealing with suffering more skillfully. It says that at any time we suffer misfortune, two arrows fly our way, and being struck by an arrow is painful, and being struck by a second arrow is even more painful. So, what am I talking about? The first arrow represents inevitable pain or difficulty that happens in life. And the second arrow represents the suffering we inflict upon ourselves through our reactions, thoughts, and responses to that initial pain. For example, the first arrow could be physical pain or emotional pain, and we cannot control it when it strikes. This is inevitable as humans. There will be days when we feel lonely, when we feel uncertain, or when we experience grief, or when we hurt a leg or become ill. All of these things are inevitable and completely unavoidable in this lifetime. The second arrow, however, is additional suffering that we create within ourselves through our thoughts, through our feelings and actions in response to that pain. So, imagine that you are feeling lonely or uncertain. These things are inevitable at times, but then we respond to ourselves with self-blame, rumination, negative self-talk and worst-case scenarios. For example, say I was uncertain about my new community group. This is really inevitable. Like to be uncertain about something new. But what if I then go on to ruminate about how I'm not good enough, it's not good enough, what if people don't like it? This is the definition of suffering. So how do we minimise the second arrow of suffering that we throw at ourselves? Firstly, it's about becoming more mindful of where we are suffering after inevitable pain. 2, working on cultivating mindfulness and self-compassion. And thirdly, acceptance. Detaching in your mind from things being any different to the way they actually are. I personally find a really good way of doing this is if you're experiencing any pain, emotional or otherwise, just laying a hand on your heart and labelling it and saying, I'm experiencing pain, or I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling uncertain, and just letting it be there. Just letting it be there and saying, this is a normal human experience. This is an inevitable part of life. It's okay. I'm okay. Instead of battling with it, instead of trying to make it go away, we just acknowledge it. We say, hey, here you are. This is inevitable. This is human. It's okay. I'm okay. And then we move on with our day.